I am counting every blessing, letting go and trusting when I cannot see. I am counting every blessing, surely every seed.
Welcome to the ND 500 podcast. On today's show, we're talking about our finances. As we know, God has blessed us with finances, and we want to honor God by being a better steward with the finances that He has blessed us with. And on today's show, I want to bring your attention to an area in which we all can become better stewards of the finances in which God has blessed us with. And that starting point is by simply packing your lunch. Yes, we, especially here in America, throw away a lot of money eating out for lunch each day. Listen to these statistics. According to the Harvard Business Review, 90% of Americans don't like to cook. And as a result, the average American eats out for lunch 3 times a week. And according to these statistics, at a rate of $7 a day, 3 times a week, that's over $1,000 that you spend on lunch. And if you're a little bit more than the average person, if you eat out every day, according to the Harvard Business Review, at $10 a day, that's over $2,500 a year on lunch. And listen to these additional statistics. According to the Harvard Business Review, a recent data revealed that 69% of Americans have less than $1,000 in their saving account. These findings are consistent with a report from the Federal Reserve Board confirming that almost 50% of Americans don't have $400 on hand to cover unplanned expenses or an emergency. This is something else that this report pointed out. When you eat out, most food establishments, restaurants, fast food places like that charge a 300% markup on the items in which they serve. Every time you spend $15 on an entree or food, your food actually costs them $5 to make. So they're actually charging you 300% when you actually go out and eat. So the fact that the average American family spends over $3,000 a year on prepared foods means that we're all cheating ourselves out of money that can be instrumental in padding our emergency funds and getting out of debt and saving for the future. And if you remember, last week we talked about creating an emergency fund, starting with $1,000 just to cover unexpected, unplanned things that happen or come up throughout our daily lives. So on today, I just want to encourage you to begin to look at areas in which you can become a better steward of your finances. And one great area to start is to begin to pack your lunch. So because if you eat out just 3 times a week on your lunch, on an average of $7 for those 3 days, by the end of the year, you would have spent over $1,000 on lunch. So I hope that provides you with something that can help you become a better steward of the finances, the money in which God has blessed you with. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email at podcast@ndcode.com. Feel free to visit my website at www.ndcode.com. Until next time, live in truth.